What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Ron Got Soul coming at you guys with another custom video, and today we'll be working on these Air Force One lows with Louis Vuitton print. So as you guys can see, we have the classic Air Force One low. We went ahead and added an LV print to it, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit. You've seen a lot of people do a LV print, like a black and white, but I wanted to step it up and do a reflective. Now, there's people who done reflective material on there before, but they always did it on a white base. I wanted to step it up and do a black base just so it's a little bit more noticeable. And then I wanted to step it up even further by adding a heat sensitive pigment to it. So you'll notice here, if I put any kind of heat on there, where it's with my hand or like a heat gun, you'll notice that it switches colors. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that next. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, so we got these off of Nike.com. Fresh all white Air Force Ones. So we got our stencils all cut out. I already did this off camera just so speed up a little bit of time for you guys, but I do have a printer, or actually a vinyl cutter, the Cricut, and went ahead and cut this out beforehand so we can just go ahead and get right into that. So, as you can see, hopefully it can pick up in here, we got some scuffs on there. That's good, that's what we want. We make sure the leather is nice and scuffed so that you can get nice prep and optimal adhesion on the toe box, because this will be the area that creases the most. So we want to make sure that we use a Scotch-Brite pad and multiple layers of sandpaper to ensure that everything is nice and scuffed up and we have nice deep grooves into the leather, and that'll help the paint bite onto it and be more durable. Another extra step I like to do once I've done the cotton balls or cotton swabs, you'll notice that there's some kind of hairs from the some fibers from the cotton swab on there. So just get like a brush, like a stiff bristle, just kind of go through it a little bit, or you can use a soft side as well, just to make sure that there is no dust or debris or cotton remnants left on there, because that will show up on the paint job and we don't want to have that. We want to make sure it looks as professional, as clean as possible. So just go a couple passes on each section with the brush. Good to go. I'm gonna give you guys a little helpful tip about getting behind this little swoosh. Just kind of put your hand on the inside of the shoe, get to right in that area, and just kind of push it up, and then apply the tape. That way you can get underneath the leather and you won't have any paint and bleeding underneath or on the white portion where you don't want to get it at. So just lift up the leather a little bit and do that all around the shoe, because notice that this little lip right there is still loose. It's not applied down to the shoe, so you can kind of lift it up and you can get underneath the tape and get all those little areas tight. That way you don't have any paint bleeding if you're hand painting or airbrushing. Just keep everything nice and tight and solid, and you'll get a nice clean shoe. That way you can get these raw edges as well, and you don't have to worry about doing any touch-ups and accidentally getting paint on anything. So this is a little helpful tip for you guys. Okay, the shoes are all taped up now. So now that we're done with that, we can lay down the stencils and get into the paint. Okay guys, as you can see, the shoes have a little black around everything and some of it's like kind of scuffed up. This is not my first attempt. This is actually my third attempt at trying to do this custom. So it took me a while to get it. The first time I did it, it came out okay, but I just didn't like the way the placement of the LV print was. And then the second time, I went in and scrapped it. The second time I did it, I got pretty much all the way done. I put all the solar colored pigment on there, all the black coats, and then I went on the last step, which was adding the LV print with the 3M or the reflective. And when I applied it with heat, it actually burnt off the effect, so it didn't really show like it was supposed to. So this is my third attempt at doing it. We're gonna try a new method. I got a little discouraged, I wanted to give up on it, but then I just got motivated to just pick it up and do it again. So let's go ahead and give me a like if you can. I really appreciate it. Right now we're just gonna go ahead and add the black coats. We're gonna do 3 coats of black, and then after that we'll get into the SolarColorDust liquid crystal. Okay guys, so now we're going to go ahead and lay down the LV print. As you can see, I laid it down with the heat transfer. It comes on top of the actual printout or the cutout, and all the LV print is laid down on there now. So we're going to go ahead and apply that with the mini iron. Get to it. Now, if you guys do want to see the flash, let's see, I can see my phone here somewhere. I don't, but we'll get into some flash pictures later. I'll put up a screenshot for you guys to see. I'll take a flash and let you guys see what it looks like. Okay guys, as you can see, the LV print is nice and laid down. Came out really nice. Everything came out laid out pretty good. As you can see, it's nice and tight around all the corners. Like, it's good to have this iron tool because it has all the 3 corners on there. You can get into the tight edges, like around the toe box around here, and it keeps the same consistent heat around the whole body of the iron. But like I said, these little tight corners, is nice to get those in there so you can, you know, get into these tight corners and make sure everything's laid down nice and flat. Now, I've done the toe boxes. I'm going to go ahead and get into the swooshes on the side, but I'm going to save you guys that because it's pretty much the same process, except this time I'm just going to cut out each individual logo, apply it on there, use the iron, and lay it down. That way we can fit the logo to make it more of my liking. But right now we're going to go ahead and get into that. And then once I finish doing that, we're going to lay down some black vinyl over the LV print. That way I can spray down the SolarColorDust and it won't get on the reflective material. And when I peel that off, we'll be pretty much done. So let's go ahead and get right into that. Okay, now that we have the stencils all laid down on the reflective material, it's all covered up and masked up, we want to go ahead and do about 10 coats of the liquid crystal. And 2 things to keep in mind when using this. Of course, you want to use an airbrush because if you try to hand paint this on, it will leave a lot of brush strokes on there. It's really hard to get a clean surface. But 2 things you want to keep in mind when you're doing the airbrush: you want to use light coats. You kind of want to mist it on there. Another thing, you don't want to use a heat gun. The second time I did this and I did the full effect, using the heat gun, it kind of burns the effect off. So some spots will be nice and solid, and some spots will be a little blotchy. That's kind of because the heat gun, the high temperature, it'll kind of burn it off or kind of singe it a little bit, so it won't really fully have the whole effect across the whole shoe. You want to use a blow dryer. You can use it on like the low setting or maybe even high if it's not too high of a temperature. But you want to use it blow dryer instead of a heat gun because it will help it dry faster, but it won't burn the material and kill the effect. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple coats. I'm not going to do the full 10 coats on camera. I'm going to do about maybe 1, the first full coat, and I'll do like maybe in the halfway point around 5 coats, and then I'll do the last 10th coat, and I'll let you guys see what it looks like all finished. So let's get right to it. Alright, we did our 9th coat. We're going to do the last coat, the 10th and final coat. Quick little tip to let you guys know when it is dry. It will be like a kind of a darkish blue color. You can kind of see here. It's more of like a darker blue, kind of like a royal, like a dark royal color. But when you apply the paint, of course, like I said before, it'll kind of start changing color, so you can kind of see it there. But I'll go ahead and finish with the 10th and final coat for you guys. Let's get into it. Okay guys, after the 10th and final coat has been applied, as you can see, it's kind of a greenish blue color. Once it dries, it'll go more of a black. Just give it a little bit of time, and when the weather cools down, it'll go like a full black. But we are done with that. We're going to want to finish the shoe. We're going to add our Angelus matte finish. If you guys have Krylon, or in my case I use Mod Podge. This is kind of thick. It's a spray-on can. It goes on there pretty thick. It'll kind of mask off the effect, so you won't have the full vibrancy of the effect if you put it on one of those spray cans. So Angelus finish is actually perfect for this one because it's really thin, and you'll still get some added protection. Of course, not as much as the spray cans. Those have like some scratch proof or resistant effects to it, so it is a little bit thicker. But this is what you want to use, the Angelus finish, whether it's the matte finish, semi-gloss, gloss, or whatever finish you choose to do. I just suggest using this one, run it through an airbrush. You probably could hand paint it on now. Just make sure you use a clean brush. But I'm going to go ahead and apply one coat. You can do 1 to 2 coats, but I will try to keep this to a minimum because you don't want to mess up the effect. So just use the Angelus finish and you should be good to go. So I'm going to add that to the shoe now, and then I'll go ahead and take off the vinyl stencils, and we'll get to the final step of this custom. Okay guys, now that we got the shoes pretty much done, the effect is on there nice and smooth. Let you guys get a look at it. Kind of see, and then we have the reflective material on the toe box and the swoosh. Now we're just going to add this little Louis Vuitton wording, the same heat transfer. We're going to put that onto the heel there, let you guys see it. So we have in our iron on medium, nice and hot. Let's just go over it. There we have it. So now I have a couple more areas I got to touch up, so I'm just going to go over that with the iron, and we'll finish these up with the toe box there. Alright, get back to you guys soon. These are all complete. As you can see, we have the Louis Vuitton stencil, the signature on the heel there, along with all the print on the swoosh and the toe box. And of course, it does have its color changing properties. You guys can see there. A nice zoom in for you guys. You can see it switches colors fully. Same thing on the swooshes. That's on both shoes. So you guys can do this for yourself if you guys are interested in any of the products. It is in the description box, so you guys can copy yourself the products that you need. If you have a stencil cutter, if you don't, of course, like I said, I will provide it. You guys just hit me up and let me know which ones you need. If you need the regular vinyl or you want the reflective vinyl, you can do that. To buy the color shifting paint, link is also in the description for you guys. If you guys are interested in buying this particular pair, it is a size 10. You guys see the size tag. Size 10, 100% dead stock. Well, I guess you consider dead stock, but have not been worn, haven't even touched the ground yet. Completely dead stock. OG all. Has the insole laces, the dubras, the box as well. And of course the tissue paper. I ordered these online on Nike.com. once they came in. I went right to work on them. It took a little over a month to finish this pair because it was just a lot of ups and downs with it, but we finally got it done. As you can see, it comes with everything. Oh yeah, of course. Custom hang tag by D Nice Customs. Appreciate that. This pair would not come with this hang tag. This is my personal hang tag. I only buy like one of them just so I can put it on display shoes and all that. But if you guys are interested in buying this size 10, please hit me up on my Instagram. You guys get another look at that color change effect. See, it does it on the swooshes, like I said, as well. Clean, custom. Alright guys, as always, rock what you like and not what's hyped. If you guys are interested in copies, again, hit me up. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.